So I'm going to walk up this Sisyphus trail, once again, uphill. See these cool trees right here? It's actually a kind of pretty trail. A little bit dangerous because if it's muddy, then it's dangerous in the rainy season. And then when the oak leaves fall on it, it can be dangerous to slip on when you're going down it. You're less likely to fall if you're going up a hill than down it. But it gave me the idea for something because I want to promote walking a lot. And I made a video about having a town layout where it's set up for excellent walking spots, and you have places to pee, and you have friends you can go visit, and an app where you can, say whether you're open for visitors or not, or which visitors on your friends list you're open to, or whatever. But then I was imagining on a particular piece of land with view, you could actually have a park area that was specifically a walking park. So that people aren't walking far. There's a dense number of trails, a lot of them shaded with, trees all around and beautiful landscaping and flowers and plants and bird baths and nice stuff, where you have specifically for exercise. It's like a gymnasium, right? But a natural one. Specifically trails that walk uphill, and perhaps some that go diagonal and some that go straight up the hill. And you could have alcoves off of it, places for people to sit and maybe have a chat and watch people walk by. You could have bathrooms at the top and the bottom. You could have a trail that goes on slope across the middle. You could make sure your trails that go downhill are very safe and easy, perhaps zigzagging downhill. I mean, you could really think of an amazing number of configurations for that. Perhaps adjusting to what trees are already there, and then planting more trees that are really cool. So it'd be a park designed for a lot of walking in a fairly dense amount of area. Can you imagine if that was in the middle of a city or a town? It might be very, very popular. If it was going to serve hundreds and hundreds of people, and you could have dog-friendly ones or not dog-friendly ones. I haven't talked about dog parks on a video yet, but I do need to do that because you might be able to bring your dog to a place where they can run and play and be crazy. And maybe in more civilized areas, dogs are more controlled. But they should have a place just like children to play and go nuts and be dogs. Maybe even, have a part of a dog park that's fenced off, because some people wouldn't want this, but have a place where dogs can jump and play in the water. Like, I've had dogs that if they see water, first thing they do is just jump right in it. They love water. And I suppose some breeds probably like that more than others. But let's get back to the humans. You could have art and sculptures within it. You could even combine it with the idea of a sculpture park cemetery. I think that's not really the best. No, I don't really like that combination. Because I'm perceiving it as a fairly active place where people are doing stuff. And on the edges of it, you could have quieter spots. But really, it would be a park where you can walk and chat with your friend, and it's not going to bother anyone. You could conceivably have parts of such a park be for playing pleasant music, a flute, a violin, I don't know what. And you could have places that were dug in on a hot day so that there was a cool spot to sit. Some of the sitting spots could be like little alcoves. You could have sitting spots that have a view. And I've never really heard that idea before. Because I want people to go hiking, but, sometimes you don't want to go hiking far away. If you're hiking on somebody else's land or in a place that isn't fully secure, then there's security issues with unknown people. And this would all be known people or their friends using this amazing park. And I have actually thought of setting aside some of my land as a park for people to use if they're kind of members of it. I don't want to have anything be actually fully open to the public. But you could have people who are members of it, and you could even have that park be separate from the park that serves residents, or you could mix it in different ways. And you could have gradations of things. You could have ones that are more kid-friendly, although kids run around a lot anyway, so giving kids their own area to just run around, I think, is a better idea. So I'm mainly thinking about adults and people over 12 that can control themselves a little bit and not be yelling randomly. So I would want to have, and you could even have different days where you have different rules regarding noise, where maybe you don't have music sometimes, or you could even have within that, you could have a little amphitheater where, 40, 50 people could sit and listen to a talk. You could really mix it up. But I have never really thought of that. I mean, I've had trails that go all the way around the forest. You could walk 3 kilometers just within the forest. And it was a big circle at that time. That trail grew over. And also when I put in my dirt roads, it interrupted a bunch of trails. So I actually have to recover some of my trail system because there should be just connecting trails that aren't on roads as well. Now, I am picturing that even the roads don't have a lot of traffic. I don't want cars in the community a lot. They can come into the edges of it. We can unload stuff. Sometimes we could have delivery trucks that come in further and deliver to different systems, restaurants, root cellars, etc. Or moving agricultural stuff and collecting fertilizer and moving wood. So, there could be vehicles, but we don't want to have a vehicle-dominated community in general. But this particular vision is a place dedicated to having a dense amount of walking trails. I love the idea because I start to think of all these creative things we could do with that. And it sounds really like a pleasant place to be. You would be running into people, and that's fun to run into people that you know, or that you don't know as well, but you could get to know them. I like this idea a lot. So please do add on to that idea, comment and envision, well, what would you have in a park like that? What am I forgetting? Obviously, bathrooms, composting toilets, of course, water available, and people could carry their own container so they could be really well hydrated. There could be places to get out of the rain because sometimes the rain comes and goes. And so you'd want some shelters that could handle more people, or just lots of small shelters to get you out of the sun or the rain. Because unless it's cloudy out, you usually don't want to be sitting around too long in the direct sun. I'm at a fairly high elevation, and people can actually get sunburned. I've had people visit me and they get sunburned because they're not used to the sun, and they go sit in it and they think it's regular sun, but no, the sun at a high elevation is much harsher. So, yeah, I want your ideas on it. What sculptures would you put in it? I mean, I mentioned bird baths. What other things would be just really pleasant to have around? I don't know. I'm forgetting something. Probably lots of things. You tell me. And I guess such a park could even have workout machines, like outdoor workout machines. Like I know that I went to Venice Beach in Los Angeles, California once, and it was kind of cool. It's an outdoor place for people who want to work out. Sports and stuff tend to be a bit noisier, so I think I would put a basketball court maybe somewhere else. But you could have chess boards. You could have, spots where one person can just sit and read, where they don't mind that there's other people around. Of course, I would like places where people can read in really quiet places or meditate or whatever. You could have spots for yoga. If you would terrace it a lot. It would be very terraced, but have really excellent trails. Some of those would be rock work. You could use concrete in part of it. But I also very much am in support of the idea of walking on natural earth. I think that's very positive. And you could even have trails that were very barefoot friendly, because some people think it's very healthy to walk barefoot. I had a girlfriend once that loved to walk barefoot all over the place, including in places I wouldn't want to walk barefoot because they didn't seem that clean. But you could have like sawdust trails that were soft, that there wasn't sharp rocks, and we could, clean those of sticks and things. And the actual form of it could be really interesting. One other idea, I've talked with a labyrinth maker. She's super into labyrinths, and she even sent me a big cloth thing that was a labyrinth. And it's like, I don't know, like 3 by 3 meters or something, and had a labyrinth painted on it so you could walk in it. But you can also imagine outdoor labyrinths that had really cool patterns you can walk in. They were kind of meditative, and that might be in a different spot because, it might be a place where you specifically don't talk, and it's a more spiritual thing, whatever that means, but more intentional, I would say, more meditative. That would be very cool. And I want to design a desert anyway, where I can have cacti and things. And so it very much could be that you could have desert and other microclimates within these walking areas. and that would give you more plants to look at, a greater variety, of things that flower at different times of the year. Probably wouldn't want to include beehives. Obviously, there would be bees there, but you probably wouldn't want beehives right there, because I do have beehives on the property, and if you walk in front of them, and in the flight path of the bees, sometimes they see you as an interruption, and they will sting you. I have been stung at those beehives, which is, I'm not allergic to bees, but I do want to make sure we take care of that. And in fact, a comfort station related to almost anywhere should have stuff like an EpiPen. I think there's now cheaper EpiPens, because EpiPens were too expensive for a long time. But so, you could make sure that people were just taken care of, including those who are allergic to bees, or just be prepared for any issues that occur. And I am imagining trails that go very much up. Some people really want to exercise. You could also set aside spots for a running trail. When I used to have that big loop trail, I had a early visitor before I was really hosting a lot of people, and we had made this trail, and she liked to go running in the morning, so she would go off and run and be very happy that she had a pleasant space to run in the forest without any cars. And so I would like to also make that available as well. So, sounds cool. I want to go walk on it right now. I'm really bored with this trail. I've been up it so many times. Like, in the last 20 years, how many times have I walked on this trail? I could probably try and make a rough estimate calculation, but I'm sure it's in the thousands. Easily. All right, so hit me with your ideas.